Hi guys, and welcome back to Roman's Love Child's channel, and we're looking today at the Super Conqueror at tier 10, which I unlocked recently as my second tier 10, and a little rundown of it, a little look at it, and comparing it to the rest of the line, the British Heavy line. So, start off with the British Heavy line. Obviously starts off with a medium 1, which is alright at tier 1. Medium 2, which I didn't play because essentially it is exactly the same as the medium 1, but at tier 2 that idea made me feel very depressed. Skip the medium 3 as well, because look at that, 14mm of armour all over, and it's nice and flat and it's a big tank, so there's a reason why you don't see that very often at tier 3 games. Matilda, good tank. Churchill 1, good frontal armour, good side scraping potential, weak turret front. That issue was resolved in the Churchill Mark III, which has actually got the strong turret armour there. You can see 152 mils, as well as really strong frontal armour and good side armour. So if you side scrape or angle with that, it's a real problem to penetrate. The Black Prince takes things a step further with the turret armour becoming even more reliable, and it's still got a decent gun. The problem that lets these tanks down is manoeuvrability and the fact they're so big. Then we get on to the next line. We get the Conqueror, the Conqueror and the Super Conqueror. They play very similarly to each other. And we'll see from the Conqueror that the turret armour is in fact not as strong or not as thick as the Black Prince, but it is sloped, whereas the Black Prince's is just flat. So that does give it some more protection. The hull armour is less, and indeed in the front you will feel that. At tier 8, most things pass straight through your hull. Then we get up to the Conqueror. Again, pretty much the same hull almost as the Carnarvon, just slightly more armoured. Turret armour significantly strong though. The turret is actually really good. I'll look at the Conqueror again in a second. And then we get onto the Super Conqueror. And they are in fact pretty much the same tank. So if we compare the two of them. So we've got here the Super Conqueror and the Conqueror with just the 100% crew with nothing else on. We can see things like the gun has got the same penetration, and it's got the same average damage per shot. Okay, because it's the same gun. You're firing the same gun on these two things when the Conqueror is maxed out. The Super Conqueror though has an increased rate of fire, a 1.88 rounds per minute greater, so almost 2 rounds a minute greater than the Conqueror. This affects the damage output quite drastically. Okay, it's giving you an extra 500 damage almost every minute in the damage per minute. So that's one positive. Apart from that, same in every way except for the normal Conqueror. Its aim time is actually slightly better, which is useful when the style of play for the tank. Super Conqueror, as you'd expect, gets more hit points because it's tier 10. Also gets more side armour. Okay, 25 side armour more, but everything else is exactly the same on the hull. The turret is slightly thicker at the front, again 25 mils thicker. But apart from that, they are exactly the same tank, same engine, same horsepower, same speed. Slightly less acceleration on the Conqueror, Super Conqueror, because the Conqueror is obviously a little bit lighter. The Super Conqueror's got ever so slightly better concealment, but that doesn't mean anything, and they've got the same spotting range. So, feels like you're kind of being cheated here. They've just stuck the tier 9 tank up at tier 10. It feels a bit lazy in that aspect. They've given you some spaced armour on the front here, but that really doesn't affect you much. Unless your opponent's firing a heat and can't penetrate you with armour piercing, then that's not much of a big deal. The good thing they've done is this Commander's Cupola seems harder to hit and less of a weak spot than it does on the Conqueror. So you still can't rely on this frontal armour, especially this lower glacis. If you're fighting in this, you really want to hide this. At least the tier 10 one, you can side scrape a bit more than you could in the tier 9 one, which has got the weaker side armour. But you can see, they look almost identical. I'll flick back again. The cupola though on the Conqueror at tier 9 is massive, and it's a massive weak spot, which means you're forced into long range engagements when trying to go hull down, because otherwise even something like an IS-3 at tier 8, when you go head to head with them at close range, if it can hit that reliably, it will hit that reliably. It will pen you. Its weak spot is a lot easier to hide, and is a lot harder target to hit, and so your tier 9 tank will lose against the tier 8 tank in a head-to-head battle. Okay, so have another look there. That's the front of the Conqueror, that's the front of the Super Conqueror. Apart from the hideous camo I've got on this, you can't really see much of a difference, can you? Yeah, they are essentially exactly the same tank. The cupola changes a little bit and there's a few little cosmetic changes, but it is the same tank, same gun, same everything, just a tier up. So yeah, I guess though it is better than the Conqueror, purely on the basis of the cupola not being such an obvious, easy to hit weak spot compared to the Conqueror. They're both arty magnets because they've both got really thin armour on the tops, so you know arty will see you and go to town on you, because I have been penned in the Conqueror anyway. I've had a full penetration several times from arty shots, you know, taking over 1,000 damage, something like 1,200 damage, you know, you're back to the garage already. So it's frustrating, the Conqueror. But the Super Conqueror is a little bit better, and we'll have a look at some game footage now. So here we are with the battle. It's a tier 10 battle on Ruinberg, and we're at the south spawn. It's full tier 10. I've got another Super Conqueror next to me. Again, he's got hideous camo as well. An IS-4 on my right. That's the heavies. And the enemy, they have a variety of heavy tanks. They've got a Super Conqueror, just like me. They have a Type 5 heavy, T110E5, and a WZ115A. They've also got FV215B183, which has got a mammoth gun, and I really don't want to meet him because he could do some serious damage to me. He could almost finish me off in one shot, essentially. Certainly give me a big headache. So I'm definitely going to follow this other Super Conqueror because I want to find a position where I can get hull down whilst getting involved. I want to try and hide my hull armour because most things on there are just going to rip straight through the front. My turret armour I've got a chance with, so Super Conqueror gets there first. I spot out, I'm trying to get my tank from behind. I decide I'm going to go for the Super Conqueror. So I've got his side armour, he hits my turret, I hit him in the side. Quick reload, as you can see. So I pull out, fire again. Arty hits me, does no damage, but then the FB 215B hits me 692 damage. Ammo racks me as well. You can see a big hole in the front there. I don't want to face that kind of firepower really. So I pull back for a bit. I'm looking for other opportunities. I decide, well, if I can get rid of that FB, then I'll be alright. So I'm pulling up into here because I can hide in here my frontal armour. And indeed I do. Fire a lucky shot, manage to get a lucky hit. So now I'm waiting for him to pull back out. I'm hoping he's going to pull back out soon. He's still got 1,000 hit points. I can take another 400 off and see if I can pull out and hit those guys up there. But no, I can't. Get spotted. Don't know who by. Probably by that T110. So just sitting and waiting. Kind of see him. Is he going to pop out? Doesn't look like it. So at this point, the Super Conqueror, because he's almost dead, having taken hits, I guess, from the FV, has run off. And just as I'm about to pull back, the FV pulls back out again. So pop forwards, fire him, kill him. Very happy. Almost can repair my ammo rack. At the moment I can't see that. So then I see it, I repair it. Pull forwards, I'm seeing, can I get that T110? Nope, the dead body of the Super Conqueror is in the way. Get hit by Arty. Fail to pen the turret of the T110. Decide I'm not going to sit there and get hit by the Arty, because that's taken a good chunk of my health off now. And I start to pull back, and I decide I'm going to go back here, especially because I can see that pattern, so see if I can duel it out with that pattern. He's got good turret armour as well, so if we're both hull down, we're going to really struggle. pull forwards too far here, take a shot which tracks me, take another shot which doesn't do any damage, and I'm now praying to get my trap repaired in time. Pull back just in time as the T-110 shoots me again, but this time fails to penetrate me. Just moved in time. Almost had a shot on that M48, but not quite. So now I'm looking at my mini-map and I can see being flanked by these two guys here. So I pull back, put one into the T-110, and the other T-110, the E5, doesn't seem to notice me. In fact, I don't know what he's doing there. I managed to fire a shot, don't damage him, but I do track him. Then the Type 5 Heavy, they're all like basically lining up. Put one into the side of the Type 5 Heavy, do some critical damage, don't really do much. Try and track him there, fails to work, but I can see now that Udez is pulling around the side and they're kind of starting to flank me. There's a danger here. If this Udez pulls around the back of me, you'll have me in the back, and that's not what I want. So I'm going to retreat full back to stop myself being flanked. I want to get into this little alcove here. I'm not watching what I'm doing at this point properly, obviously, because I'm driving into a wall. I pull forwards, I can see that Udez is just taking a hit. I finish him off. Now I'm not getting flanked. Now I want to get out of there and go and see if I can take on that Type 5 Heavy, who I suspect is, yeah, there he is. He's going to come down the F kind of 5 area and head towards me, but no, he's turned around. So now it's a race to see if I can get involved in these last two kills. The RT's just died. Type 5 Heavy is almost dead. I kind of want him dead. I want to get the kill on him, just because I don't like them. And he's got his back to me. Don't aim fully, but it's not a problem. Get the kill. Can I reload in time to take? No, I had about a second left and killed him. So there we can see when I was hull down, that was effective. Tanks found it difficult to penetrate me, and I could shoot them off. Things with high penetration or with high explosive rounds will love you at this level because your armor is on your hull is non-existent, and they'll have a field day. Anyway, we'll have a look at the little battle results and we'll have a little more of a chat about it. So here are the battle results of that game. So ended up with 4 kills, did damage to 8 lots of damage to tanks, and here we go, we can see the crew with all enemy vehicles destroyed, so we can see the tanks that I was involved with. No premium, but still managed to earn or make a loss of credits despite playing quite well, so minus 338, whereas I would have earned 15,000 if I had premium. Experience, yeah, that's alright, decent bit of experience, helped train the crew. But we can see there I ended up with 2,733 damage, 4 kills, 1,400 damage block, 1 enemy vehicle spotted, and 922 damage caused with my assistance. So, little summary with the tank, with the Super Conqueror. You want to try and hide as much of the hull as possible. That would be my advice, and go hull down. Use the strong turret armor. The gun is also pretty good. You know, it's got high penetration, reasonable damage, and it's fairly accurate for such a big gun. So, hide somewhere where you can stick the gun out, and you can pick off your opponent's weak spots. You can reliably hit those most of the time. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. You know, it really does help when you click that like button and click that subscribe button. It really helps my channel. It really helps me as well. So if you could do those things, I'm very appreciative. Anyway, take care, guys. Have fun tanking, and I'll see you later.